to you live from San Francisco in the Structure Conference. I'm here with Dave Ohara of the Green Data Center blog. Dave, how you doing?
Good, Martin. How are you?
All right. So, one thing that's been interesting recently is this idea of data centers coming to the forefront and becoming sort of the superstars. In the past, they were sort of the grimy, dull things, that the plumbing that ran in the back, and now people are getting a lot of attention for them, like Yahoo and Facebook, etc. What do you think?
Well, I think that's an interesting point. I actually wrote a blog entry a while ago discussing exactly this point of how people are getting all excited about Facebook's Pineville data center, Yahoo's chicken coop. There's been media attention and New York Times and Wall Street Journal, all those different areas. And what few people really understand is that was their first data center. Why would you get that excited about the 1.0 version data center? Meanwhile, here's Google doing their summit in Zurich, where they've done 10 mega data centers, right? And here they are talking about PUE. It's not as sexy, but they've figured out, doing really cool stuff. I mean, the same thing I would say Microsoft, building bunches of data centers. Digital Really Trust, building bunches of data centers. So it's interesting now that data centers are being marketed, and they become part of a positioning. And so, unfortunately, I think that also creates confusion in the market, because there's now marketing people and PR people creating positionings for the data centers.
Interesting. So, I think one of the things is just this idea that companies, the new data centers, the fact that they've been using other people's and now they're using their own. What are some of the pitfalls of going from using someone else's to going to something else? Now, there's obviously big advantages.
Yeah, well, again, I think the interesting thing was people do their first data center, and actually I know many different people who are now doing some of their first data centers or trying to get out of colo space, wholesale space, trying to do their own. And they'll do the numbers, and the numbers and stuff will be like, where's the ROI? They'll get the good numbers. But the problem is, those people who are now running the project have actually never built a data center project, run the data center on their own, and now they're taking this massive leap, saying we're now going to get in the data center business. And so I think that's where there's an interesting, because of the popularity of data centers, people are building more of them now on their own that are actually quite large, because they see them as a cheaper way to go, but they've actually never built one before and run one before. So I think that's going to be a very interesting thing over time, is watching what occurs as people make their first learning mistakes, building $100 million plus data centers for the first time.
And the other thing you mentioned to me yesterday was the idea of the data center needs to fit the business model. So just because the Yahoo chicken coop may look sexy, it may not be appropriate for your business.
So I think that's a key way, I would say, like, again, the marketing goes against people. I mean, people are specifying a PUE of 1.2 for a data center. They're specifying a lead data center. People are going around saying, hey, I want something like the Pineville data center at Facebook, or again, like the chicken coop data center. But what people really miss is data centers need to align to your business models of how you are as a company. And that's why data centers for financial are done a certain way, data centers for Google are done a certain way, and even the ones with Microsoft for containers. It fits the business model that Microsoft has. So it's actually a blog entry I've been meaning to write, is to ask a very simple question. For all the excitement in Yahoo and chicken coop data centers, how many people are asking the question of, do you want to align with Yahoo's business model? And how well does that fit your business? And if the answer is yes, it does, then chicken coop data center, but I think most people probably would say, oh, I don't want to follow Yahoo business model.
Excellent. Dave Ohara, thank you so much.